Hey guys, my name is Christine and I'm here to help you expand your consciousness, fully realize your true authentic self, and tap into the spiritual guidance that's within and around you. If you're new to the spiritual journey or you're just getting started, remember to click subscribe below and also the bell notification button so you don't miss any future videos on spiritual growth and expansion. In today's video, I want to show you guys 5 strange tips to communicate with spirit guides more accurately and clearly. And these are the tips to help you become more connected to the spiritual realm as well. Okay guys, so the first strange tip to communicate with spirit guides more accurately and clearly is to try animal communication. Yes, spirit communication is definitely going to take a lot of practice as well. It's not something that you can have completely clear communication with in one day unless you're extremely gifted and you've become completely immersed in the spiritual realm. However, for a lot of you, maybe you're not there yet. So I would say an easy way to connect to spirit guides and to connect to the spiritual realm in general is to communicate with animals first. And I feel like when we connect with animals, we're connecting with living animals, right? So these animals owners can confirm to us whether the communication was real or not, because then, they can confirm information for us. Because when we're talking to a deceased person, sometimes it's hard to get accurate information because we don't know if it's true or not, because we don't have spirit mentors. We don't have anyone to confirm to us whether the information that we got was real or not, unless you have a spirit mentor and you take programs and then you do case studies. But with animals, you can literally ask people on the street who has live animals, living animals walking with them, and say, hey, can I connect with your dog? And just kind of tap into their energy and see how they feel. Some people is going to say yes, some people is going to say no, but that's easier than asking a stranger, hey, do you have someone who has passed away and can I connect with them? So there's a difference. It's easier to connect with living things because you can get accurate information from the owners right there. And at the same time, when you're connecting with living animals, you can also connect with deceased animals as well. And so you're connecting to the living world and at the same time the deceased world. And so when you're communicating with deceased people, it'll be easier for you to understand them because you've already connected with living and deceased animals. And so the transition to talk to spirits is much more easy and much more smooth. This is something that I've recently started doing, and I find that it's so much fun, so exciting, and it just sparks like a lot of curiosity within me to, it's just kind of like a childlike energy that I have when I'm connecting with animals, because it's like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm gonna get it right or wrong, but I'm just gonna try and do my best, and I'm just gonna have fun with it. And it's almost like you're using your imagination to tap into the animals, because a lot of the times what I'm doing right now is that I'm actually not seeing the animals physically. Like, I'm connecting to animals who are miles away or even thousands of miles away. I've never met this animal before, I've never seen it. So people just give me descriptions of the animal, like, oh, this is a golden retriever, or okay, this is a German shepherd. It has black and brown hair and is 4 years old. Her name is Chippy, right? And so I basically have to tap into the energy. Never met the animal, never seen the animal before, which I feel like is good, because then it doesn't make you assume anything about the animals. So if you have friends or family members who have animals, cats, dogs, horses, pigs, guinea pigs, rats, whatever, you can ask your family members or friends if you can connect to their animals, and you can start writing down information. Just have a full-on conversation with the animal, learn how to connect with the animals, and then once you do, the information is going to start flowing pretty easily, a lot easier than you think it will. So it's not as complicated as you think it is. It's just about your ability and openness to communicate with animals. Like, if you're trying to connect to a living human and you're trying to connect to a living animal, who or what do you think would be easier to connect to? Like, I feel like it would be much easier to connect to animals because they're already spiritual beings. And now that we're learning how to become more spiritual or tapping into our truth and our essence of light, that it'll be easier to connect to a being who is much more tapped into their spirituality, who is much more connected in general, than a person who may not even know what a soul is, who may not even know how to communicate telepathically with other people. And so I feel like animals are much more open about it anyway, whereas a lot of people, they tend to be weirded out by it. So just just a little comparison for you to see like the difference of mindset. The second strange tip to connect with spirits more easily and accurately is to play a game of pretend or imagination, I guess. Like imagining that you have a best friend spirit guide who is always with you. Just kind of like close your eyes and ask your best friend spirit guide to come through, and just kind of like open yourself to see what they look like, to see how their energy feels like, or what type of best friend that you would like, and just imagine them always with you. Like pretend that they're with you all the time, pretend you know what they're wearing, pretend you know their personality, which if they are spirit guides, then just know that they are very compassionate, very loving, and they're always here to listen to you and help you to become more happy, successful, and fulfilled. So imagine your best friend like that, and just kind of pretend they're with you all the time. Talk to them out loud, talk to them in your mind. So you're just kind of playing like this childlike game, right? We're just pretending. We're pretending that they're there. And so it helps us close the gap between this physical world and the spiritual world by playing with the word pretend. Even though we can't see them physically right next to us, or within our space, we know that they're there because we're just pretending, and that helps close the gap and allows us to tap into the spiritual realm better, because we're allowing through the word pretend. And you can also imagine your spirit guide, your spirit protector right next to you. Just see what they look like. Pretend you know what they look like. Are they wearing an armor around them, like a knight in shining armor who's there to protect you, who's there to lead you and guide you? Are they going to protect you from negative people who come into your space? Are they going to allow you to feel something within your gut feeling that's going to be like, hey, that's not the person I want to be friends with? Like imagine them there protecting you when you're walking in the dark and you're scared at night. Imagine your spirit protector there to assist and guide and protect you. Imagine them wear whatever they're wearing. Imagine their personalities, almost like you're completely creating like this person who's here with you, and you're assigning them specific traits and whatever you want, because this allows you again to tap into the spiritual realm by closing the gap between like being logical and illogical. The third strange tip that I use to connect with spirit guides much more easily is to have a deeper connection with them by making them feel like they're my best friend. So I guess this goes hand in hand with the first one, but basically the second tip was you basically creating an imagination or imaginary friend, whereas the third tip is just building a stronger relationship with your best friend. So what I like to do is when I see my best friend or my spirit guides or guardian angels, I like to give them a hug. I like to immerse myself into their energy, give them a hug, put our heads together, and allow the energy to flow, because like in real life, like that's how you bond with people, right? Like you feel close to them, you hold hands with them. Like if you have a best girlfriend and you hold hands with them, or you have like a bro, I mean, you don't have to hold their hands, but you kind of wrap your hands around them like your best buddies. And that's the same thing with your spirit guides. You want to feel personal. You want to make it like a personal relationship, something that is deep and you feel really connected. And so what I like to do personally is I like to hug them, and I like to put our heads together and feel like we're so connected, so strong together, and our energy is so strong that nothing else can come between us, nothing else can come close to us. And yeah, you can even imagine putting your hands on their heart and allowing their heart energy to run to you, and you're also allowing your heart energy to run into them, so that you feel each other's heart, you feel each other's soul. Look into their eyes and pretend like you know what their eyes look like, and feel this deep connection when you look into each other's eyes as if you've known each other for lifetimes. So just feel that type of connection. Imagine that you have your best friend guide with you, and then imagine building that relationship with your spirit guide or your best friend guide or your protector guide, whatever you may wish to imagine, and start building that relationship with your guide. The fourth tip is to learn about esoteric systems. So some esoteric systems do take a while to learn, take a while to master, and requires quite a bit of intuition and possibly psychic senses as well. So my type of esoteric system that I prefer to use are tarot cards, which you can probably see right here. So Yeah, I like to use tarot cards, especially when I started communicating with my spirit guides. I was too logical. Like, I was too logical. I tried to analyze every information too much, and that was difficult for my spirit guides to come through to speak to me, because whatever they said, I was just like, yo, I just made that up in my mind. I don't even know if it's real. I'm completely making this up. There is no one named John as my spirit guide. There's no one named this as my spirit guide. I just made it up. So when I'm using my tarot cards, that's an easier way for my spirit guides to speak through me, because I associate certain tarot cards with certain meanings. Now, not all tarot cards are concrete, because it's just an esoteric system. There's a lot of interpretations and meanings that can go into one card. You can interpret a tarot card, one tarot card, with the upright meaning or reverse meaning, and each position can have multiple meanings associated with it. But you're also using your intuition to interpret what the card means to you as your spirit guide help you, when you're doing your tarot reading. So personally, what I like to do is I'm holding a tarot deck in my hand. I take about like 3 to 5 deep breaths, and then I connect to the spiritual realm. Like, I just kind of like allow myself to connect, like just have an intention of connecting with my spirit guides. And then I ask them to show me a number from 1 to 78. What number do I need to know today? Which card do I need to know today? And then like a number will pop up like 36, and I pick it up, and then I see the 3 of Cups. And then I'm just like, I know the 3 of Cups has something to do with celebration, something to do with fulfillment and being with friends or family or something like that. Like, it can be celebrating someone's birthday or something. 3 of Cups doesn't always necessarily mean that, but to me, at that specific time, that's what I'm feeling that card means to me. And then I remember that one day I got the 3 of Cups, and throughout the whole day, nothing resembled the 3 of Cups until the very end of my work day, when my sister brought 3 of my dogs to the place that I worked at, and I felt like a lot of happiness, a lot of fulfillment. And then the next day, I also got the 3 of Cups again, and then I was like, what the heck? I don't even know. And then throughout the whole day, nothing happened that resembled the 3 of Cups to me. And then at the end of the day, again, I got an approval and certification as a tarot reader. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And then I started celebrating with my sisters and my friends. So to me, when I see the 3 of Cups, a lot of the times it has to do with celebration, family, friends, enjoyment, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment with close people around you, or celebration with an accomplishment or something like that. And that is how I communicate with my spirit guides, especially during the beginning when I couldn't communicate clearly with them because of like my separation to the spiritual realm and feeling disconnected that way. So if you want to try tarot cards, it does take practice, it does take discipline and patience to learn it. But once you start becoming more intuitive and you even start developing your psychic senses, you'll be able to interpret it much more easily. The 5th tip that allowed me to have clear and accurate communication with spirit is that I acknowledge myself as a spirit. Like sometimes throughout the day, I just kind of acknowledge myself like, wow, I'm like this soul, like this spirit, and I have a physical body. I'm living in this physical life. And I'm a spirit and I'm living a physical life. I'm experiencing what it tastes like to drink tea or eat food. I'm experiencing what it's like to have a vegan lifestyle. I'm literally like enjoying the food on my table as a spirit. Like, I physically get to eat. I also see myself like walking to the grocery store, and I just look up at the sky. I'm just like, wow, I'm actually a spirit and I'm going grocery shopping and I get to choose my food. Or I'm a spiritual being and I'm connecting with another spiritual being, my dogs, and we're like both spiritual beings, and we have this physical body where we get to interact and exchange emotions, thoughts, and happiness and sadness or whatever with each other. And I just realized like those are the moments when we realize that we're spirits, and it allows us to speak more easily with spirits because we acknowledge ourselves as a spirit. And so when we acknowledge ourselves as a spirit, there is no separation between this physical and the spiritual world, because we acknowledge that we are also spirits and we're just experiencing this physical life, but nonetheless we are still spirits. And so it should be much more easier for us to communicate with spirits than to live in this physical life, because this physical life is just a dream. It's just kind of like a fake reality, this fake identity that we associate ourselves with, like with our ego. And so start having those random moments of realization throughout the day. Like maybe like sometimes you acknowledge that you are, like randomly when it just pops up to you, or sometimes when you want to, you just consciously become aware of it, like, oh, I am a spiritual being, like look at how amazing it is, I have hands. And it's just kind of like brings this kind of like humor into your life, but at the same time it's kind of like a sense of magic, and at the same time it's a sense of connection to the spiritual realm as well. So that's a tip that I would also recommend to you, is to just realize that you are a spirit, that you are a soul, and it'll also make your soul feel much more happy and much more connected because you acknowledge yourself as a soul, and it'll help you feel connected to the spiritual realm, and then you'll be able to communicate more easily as well. So there you go, guys. Those are the 5 strange tips that I would recommend for you to help assist you in spirit communication. Some of it may take longer, some of it not so much. It definitely has a lot to do with your openness and your imagination to, acknowledge yourself and acknowledge other beings, and to use your imagination to create much more fun and joy in your life by just, having an imaginary friend. So just allow that to flow to you. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to click subscribe if you haven't already, and click the like button to let me know that you enjoyed the video. And you can also comment below which technique you've used and which one you feel more connected to, which one resonated with you, and how that went for you. You can also visit my website at spirittarotguide.com to learn more about spirituality. And I'm also a tarot reader certified, like I just mentioned in the video. And you can book a tarot reading with me online at spirittarotguide.com to, get whatever type of reading you want. And thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you for watching this video. My mission is to inspire a whole generation of humanity to tap into their own essence of light, or light essence, and to dig deeper, to find themselves, to find their truth and their purpose, so that each one of their unique mission and vibration can start manifesting magically throughout the whole universe and create change that, we wouldn't even be able to imagine years from now. And if you feel connected with the messages, then remember to click subscribe like I've mentioned before, and I will see you guys next time.